Hello, we are back and this is your very first tutorial and it's for my Evernote brides. So let's begin. Okay, you have loaded your ENX files, you've transferred them in, you have your account and they show up as notebooks. If you are brand spanking new, let me walk you through different points of Evernote and how your wedding planner will serve you. Some things that we will be discussing. So everything that your beginning feature includes is you can type and write, you can add tests, and you can even record audio files for any meeting with vendors, phone calls. Yes, very helpful. You can add photos anywhere that would inspire you for new ideas, new designs. All your Pinterest stuff, oh, absolutely. It's the perfect place to keep it. You can snap photos, use them as a whiteboard. I'm going to show you an overview. You can make sticky notes, handwritten notes, and brainstorm sessions. You can scan all of your contracts with your wedding vendors, any legal document, receipts, recipes, business cards, everything from your phone, and they're right there in your Evernote. You can use your desktop, your mobile app, your laptop, a browser. You can even access it when you are offline. So those are some of the things that we are going to be discussing and be showing you, so you can learn how to use your planner and you can feel confident in Evernote. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen and we're going to very slowly move forward. I forgot I was going to set a timer. There we go. Set a timer on my phone so that these would not get too long and cumbersome, but we are learning together. Alrighty. These right here, they're samples. They are the exact download from what you transferred ENX files into your Evernote account. Let me pop one up. And I take it by this point, you have clicked through and you've snooped through and already got started. Yay, it is so much fun. And again, may I say congratulations. So let's just walk over some of the areas in your Evernote account. So we have the side toolbar where your home page, your notes, and your notebooks are. Let's just walk through it. At the top, you have your account name. You have your name. You have a search. So this search bar is extremely helpful. Do you see it right here? Let me make this just a little larger. This is one of the features that you will probably use the most, and I'm going to give you a little hint in there. In your search bar is that when you're searching, you want to make sure whether you're in notebooks, a specific note, or all over notes. Those are just some handy dandy things. And here's your home page. And you can set up your home page. So it absolutely looks wonderful. You have shortcuts. Now right here, do you see this right here? Okay. So this is notes. And you see that little plus right here? That is how you start a new note. So let's click on it and see what happens. There we go. So I call them templates or notes. And right here is the gallery. And in your gallery, you want to start with your title, my new note. And then you can add the date. It is, oh, it's Valentine's Day. Oh, it's not, it's 2-Valentine's-3. Yes, it is. Happy Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. I told you I would get the planner done for you by Valentine's Day. Okay, and there we are. Now, did you notice something? When I put in the first line on your note is technologically activated. Everything happens. So let me pull that out. I'm going to cut it There we go. It should work again. There we go. And it did not. There it is. There it is. So this line right here activates so many things. It's got little hidden secret things in there. Just note side. So when you open your note, this is what it looks like. You could start with your date, but before you start with the date, you maybe want to put a to-do list. You want to add more. Those would be your templates that you would save. So I have a suggestion. What you're currently working on as far as my brides, when I would definitely save your particular monthly template, and I would definitely save your bridal daily template. The other ones, you can move through them in the notebook, but those are handy because you will use them, activate them several times, and you'll want to save them. I will show you how to do that in a little bit, okay? So this is a note. If you were going to open a gallery, see, these are my templates here. This is the template gallery that Evernote provides you. Okay, I'm going to close that. And there we are. And that gets you going in your note. Let's continue down this. Then you have your taskbar. So if I have a note and I put a task in a note, that's where the task is going to be rooted, is in that note. But I can also go to my home page and right here, see new task. And so then it's just attached to my home page. It's like your active to-do list, okay? Let's go back to our note. Here's our new note. We have tasks, and then here's your notebook. You see that little plus sign? That is where you start a new notebook, right there. And here are my samples of the wedding planner right here. And of course, I have several more notebooks. This is where you would start a new notebook. So let me put a notebook in a context here. So if you had a binder, imagine that you had a binder. If you had a binder, a 3-ring binder, and you were going to set it up for school, say you were taking a course or getting some credits at college, you would separate your classes with files in between. So each one of your classes could be a notebook. So you have your whole notebook, you have classes, you have your overall college course, and each one could be a notebook with notes inside. So you have notes. I didn't get a sample. Here we go. Here we go. I got another sample here. I'm very visual. So if you opened up a notebook, there would literally be pages inside, which are the notes. So are you starting to get a little bit of a visual? Good. I think it's important to have a visual. So that is what the notes and the notebooks, those are the two main frames that you actually are storing information, and you can get to them and use them everywhere, okay? And then your notebooks, these are my list of notebooks. Right here, here's the list of tags all the way at the bottom. What are a tag? Okay, let me show you what a tag is. At the very bottom of your note, and it does depend on what you were using. If you're using an iPad, let me double check. All right, let me open it. So if you're using an iPad, this same little note here, add a tag, you will find that actually at the top right-hand bar of your iPad. And is that the same on the phone? Probably. They're usually across the board. between your iOS devices. You'll have to excuse me. I never owned a Samsung product, and I currently have been a Mac girl for about 6 or 7 years. Yes, so on your phone, the taskbar again is on your front page, and it's right there, and you'll see a little circle with the check mark. And that will show you where your taskbar is. Okay, so all the way, that's for your tags. Then share with me, that's a shared notebook. And you have work chat, and you have your trash at the bottom here, and here's your help thing. So this is everything that is going on your side toolbar. This is your main editor, so to speak, right here. So this will tell you, if you click on it, this will tell you how many notes that you have entirely in your Evernote account. If you click on notebooks, it will tell you how many notebooks you have, and it will organize them alphabetically for you. Okay. All righty. Now let me tell you one little thing here. This is called a stack. And if you've noticed in each one of your planner things, if I drop this down, then you can see, so actually because the stack is a wedding planner, you see that little click there, I'm in notebooks, and therefore it lists all the notebooks of your wedding planner here. Okay, I think I lost you a little bit. This is called a stack. It's a deep file stack. I have a video already made for you on that one. I'm going to continue moving on, okay? So we've walked through starting a note, your new note, making a notebook. Those are the fundamentals. Okay. There we are. Alrighty. So let's go right here. This is your little settings bar. So if you want to change settings from light mode to dark mode, your planning, your billing, your logon security, the devices that you use, connected apps, and your personal information is right there in your settings bar. Okay. All right, brides, let's go here. Let me switch here. So here I'm in a sample, so I can make stuff in it without being concerned about changing it or messing up the original templates. I have those saved somewhere. So let's walk through. You have 11 notes in your blushing moments, and we have some characters here. So this right here is sort by. So when you received your notebooks, they were sorted by title. Some of them I actually use extra letter characters and number characters to get them to alphabetize themselves, so to speak, so they would present themselves in a logistic way in your notebook. So here, now there's two things here. I always sell my planners that are organized by title. For my own personal daily journal, I always itemize them according to date created. That is how I do it. Because if you put in January 1, January 2, January 3 under title, they're going to end up in different places. So therefore, I do the sort options according to date created. Let's move on here. This one here is add filters. It's a little bit more advanced, and I will make a video for adding filters at a later date. What a filter is with tags, contains, created, updates. It means you can do a deeper search by adding filters. Okay, right here. This is the other one that's really important. It's called the note list view. I currently, and I do in all of my planners, I keep it in the snippet card view. Everything in mine is in the snippet card view because I am very visual. That won't move here. And as you can see in your planner, you have this lovely little picture here that tells you what note that you were in. Okay, let's hit the card view. If the card view, you can see how it changes it. If it's the side list view, there are no pictures. I like pictures. And if it is the top list view, it goes all on the top and there's no pictures. Here we go. There you are. Now, these down here, note previews, you could take out the images, you could show the body text, show tags, show reminders. This is how in the snippet. So if you keep it in the snippet view, then you will always see the little pictures and it'll help you organize. It'll help you visually. Now, right here in the more actions area, this is where, let's click onto it. You can add a new note. You can share a notebook. You can rename a notebook. You can delete a notebook. You can add it to shortcuts, set it as a default notebook. So if it was a default notebook, why would you need that? Because that is where like your Evernote emails would go. That's where your web clips would go into a default notebook unless you identify where you're sending them to. And right here is the stack. And you can export a notebook and you can export a notebook as a PDF. We got my timer already. I'm going to finish this one little area before I complete this particular beginnings little tutorial. So here's your add a note. If you want to share a notebook, say you want to share a notebook or a note with a vendor. So your vendor also uses Evernote and you can share emails and notes back and forth. This is where you would do it. So if you click on share a note, you would put their email in and you would tell them if they can edit it, invite it, can edit, can view. It gives them the different permissions on how to use it. Extremely helpful and important when you are working with people outside of your own personal notebook, which you are when you are planning a wedding. Okay, that's the share notebook. Now to rename notebook, that is exactly what you want to do for each one of your notebooks, because when you received them, they were set as imported. I put these as sample so that I know I can write in them, move things in while I'm doing this tutorial, and I won't mess up my main files. Okay, so at this point in time, you can name your notebooks anything that you would desire, and you would hit continue, and it will change the name for you. Now, let me give you a little clue, because I've had some people go, where did my notebook go? When you change the name, and if you have several notebooks, it's going to change its position alphabetically. Just thought I'd throw that in because people lose their notebooks. Where did my notebook go? Okay, back to more actions. You can also delete a notebook. You can add it to shortcuts. Let me do that here. Add it to shortcuts. What are shortcuts? Here's shortcuts. It's right underneath your home key, your home button. And I just moved that. And here's my sample, a blushing moments. It is in shortcuts right there. So it's really handy for notes and notebooks that you're using all the time. So if it's 9 to 11 months out, you're working on that particular frame for your wedding. That's how much time you have, is 9 to 11 months. That would be a really good notebook to stick into shortcuts so you can get to it extremely easy. Now, let me show you. It is still in its notebook position under notebooks, but it doesn't mean that it moved totally. It means that it added it to shortcuts. Now, if you want to remove it from shortcuts, Pretty self-explanatory. You remove it from shortcuts. Let's finish our more actions. Add to stack. Okay. I do have a tutorial called deep filing. I'd like to direct you there because I really go into it a long ways. But what a deep filing system is you have notebooks. You have notebooks that you need to put home. You have notebooks that you need to go business. You have notebooks that might say a medical or doctor, and you want to actually take notebooks and file them in this big drawer. That would be called a deep filing system or a stack. And if you click on stack, obviously it shows you all of the different stacks that I use to actually sort my notebooks. Okay, here's the export your notebook. This is how I transfer them so that you could use them. And then you could export it as a PDF, which is very handy. When we get to overview, I'm going to show you how I use that particular feature. So exporting it for a PDF makes it printable. Now I'm going to say that I do not make my particular notes to be shaped so they come out perfectly on a printable. They will not come out, you know, this page, page 1, page 2, page 3, because this is your application is, oh, what's the word? It moves and changes. So it does not come out that way when you print it. It still functions, and you could actually print and move it around as a PDF. Let me just let me show you it. So we're going to take the photography page here. If I show you, that's the better, or there's the letter from me. Let's cancel it. I wanted to do photography page. I'm going to export it as a PDF. Let me show you this here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Is how it sets it up to export it. And it would be the same way if you were going to print it. Now, if you notice, part of the tables end up, because all of a sudden the software says I have to put it on pages. Okay, and that is how it works. It still transfers the information to you properly, but the way that it moves the different features of your note, it is different when it goes to print. Okay, I just wanted to give you a visual here. Then you'd hit export it. And you can add page numbers, export it. Let's go ahead and do that. And there it is. Photography, pages, PDF. You tell it where you want it to go and you hit save. Okay. There we go. We exported. We got through the whole 2 side taskbars. Yay. I think this is a really good place to stop. The next one will be more fun because we're going to be working with a note. So I'm going to say, see you later. Thanks so much. And we're going to have a good time. Let me stop my share here. And I hope you learned something today for my Evernote Bride Beginners. Okay? I will talk to you again real soon in the next video.